First of all, I apologize. Why? Because conventionally, keynote address is supposed to be in the beginning, and I couldn't be present in the morning because of prior engagements, and I'm very honored that Harishji agreed that I can come a little late, but loss is mine because I missed out on Revati ma'am's address and part of the first panel session. In the almost 80 years of my life, I'm a little short of 80, almost 8 years of my life, and 60 years in education, one thing, my most valued lesson has been to learn to bow down and apologize. And it gives such a joy when you apologize, because you start feeling contented, you start feeling happy, and you develop a lot of inner strength. And there is in psychology, in stages of development, the 8th and the last stage is called integrity versus despair. But it starts after the age of 70. So in this crowd, I'm the only privileged one, And what it leads to? It leads to wisdom. Not that people who are less than 70 don't have wisdom. There are a lot of people even at the age of 20, they have wisdom. But generally after the age of 70, wisdom comes in because you have seen life, you have got all the kicks in life, and so you mature, your thinking is logical, thinkings are chronological. But what is wisdom? Wisdom is being judicious. And what is judicious? Is being empowered. And that's what we are here for. And Revati ma'am is here. In fact, 4 days back, she called me saying that, are you free on 2nd? You have to come for Brainfeed function. And I was in another function. And I said the second morning, I did remember there is something, I have lectures in the morning. And that time I also asked her, because I really did not know anything about this conclave at all. And even this morning, actually, in the car, Mr. Girish Davi briefed me, because my life is very, very hectic. I keep on jumping from one city, one country to another non-stop. So I'm always, and with old age, what happens is, whatever little you hear, you're able to match up. Somehow you can do it, not manipulate them. You can reorganize anything. So, and then I asked her about this. She said, sir, it's Dr. Guha, it's all about empowerment. And, empowerment is women, of course, here, but actually it should be for all men and women alike. And I think that's exactly what she spoke in the morning also. That's what, again, I got briefed by her. And I'm talking about Revati ma'am, we both are prime members of MAS. You know what is MAS? Mutual Admiration Society. I admire her, she admires me. Not that we don't see each other's faults, but that's in private. But even in private, we do appreciate each other a lot. We have been working together a lot in so many places all the time. And when we talk about stages of development and this empowerment of all, empower of individuals. I remember the story, I think most of you have also heard in childhood. There are 6 sons who used to keep on quarreling, and the father would tell them not to fight. They wouldn't listen. And then the father asked, get one stick. Everybody brought one stick. He said, break them. They broke them. And they went away. They said, get one more stick. And then he tied them, now break it. And nobody could break it. Okay? So that's team spirit. But I have always been known right from childhood as a rebel, as a radical, as a feminist, but very, very traditional. And even then I used to think, what would have happened if each stick would have been very strong? It would be so difficult to break them. And then collectively the strength would be much more. That's again exactly the federal structure of our country. Each state, each province is strong, the country is strong. And so empowerment therefore begins with whom? Begins with self. Whether man or woman, it has nothing to do with it. But now, coming to the house of empowerment. How to do empowerment? Because I always believe as a corporate trainer, what to do everybody knows. The difference lies in how to do. That's why we become ordinary and extraordinary person. The difference between the two words is that little extra. The one who takes an extra step becomes extraordinary. And that happens through, how does that happen? I think all of us, when we were children, we were always told, be master of one, don't be jack of all trades, right? But I have always been jack of all trades. But yes, I do have a master degree in economics, that's master's. But then I kept on doing multiple things. My profile also says that I'm a dancer, I'm an actor, I'm a singer, I'm a psychologist, I'm a corporate trainer, I'm an educationist. Name everything. I'm a damn good cook. Everything I am. Okay? And what I realize is, when you're jack of all trades and master of one, gradually you become master of many things. Revati ma'am, you're also one of the examples. Seema ma'am is another example. And why most of you now, as heads of schools and institutions, don't you think you're master of too many things now? चुटकी में बच्चों को संभालते हो, चुटकी में पेरेंट्स को संभालते हो, चुटकी में टीचर्स को संभालते हो, चुटकी में syllabus को संभालते हो, चुटकी में finance संभालते हो, चुटकी में administration संभालते हो. So many qualities we have. We are all multidimensional people. Therefore, the problem has changed. Now, be jack of all trades, be master of many. No, sorry. Be master of one, be jack of all trades. And so that, what is required, something called GMQ. Have you heard what is GMQ? You have heard IQ, right? You have heard EQ, right? GMQ is general market quotient. And I'm not saying that we have to become masters in dividends and shares. Just this general market quotient means is that we are aware of everything that is happening around the world. Social changes, economical changes, educational changes, cultural changes, political changes, every change that is happening, I need to be updated. We often keep on hearing, specifically in education, there is a generation gap. And I don't believe there is any generation gap. We elders are at fault. What we have to do is that gap. And there is no generation. You know what the word is? It is called generation diversity. And this generation diversity is GMQ. Am I updated? If the pen falls, can I tell the pen, come up, come up? I have to stoop and pick it up. So if I have my students who are 2 years old to 18 years old or 30 years old and I'm 80 years old, obviously there will be a gap. It's also in the corporate. I'm 50, but my new engineers are at 22. So their thinking process is different, mine is different. So I have to bridge the gap. Who will do? The elder will have to do. The child cannot do, not possible. I would like to share a number of things, One of my very favorite students, very few people have my number, recently last week, he's brilliant in English. You know what he did? He just messaged me, sir, you are good. Now I said, he's very good in English. His English is wrong. He had to say, you are the good or you are a good. So I put in a question mark in WhatsApp, send it. You know what was the reply? Greatest of all times. I felt so nice. Before that, I felt so depressed that he called me a goat. What I'm trying to tell you, look at the abbreviations. Are we updated? 15 years back, I went to Swami Vivekananda School in Chembur. And I was talking to a girl. She was not talking to the boys. 3rd standard. I said, why don't you talk? After much persuasion, the girl says, he's HDFC, sir. Full toss. I hope you all know the words full toss. Going above the head. We should know the lingos of the younger generation. And you know what she said? He's half dumb, full crack. I said, oh my God, they're talking in abbreviations. I better update myself. Then another person just the other told me, this is POV. What is POV? Point of view. I did not know that. We all know TP, right? That you know, I hope. TP is time pass. Because if that also you don't know, we are really, really out. Because TP has been going on for years together. Right? And then there is, recently I heard, I have Sunday classes, every Sunday 2 to 6, 3 of us, I teach young generation dance, drama, leadership, organization skills and all that. And he says, Sunday classes detox for me. So detox, I kept quiet as if I understood everything I didn't. Then later on I checked up. Detoxification. is the full word. No, you imagine our next generation is talking in this lingo. What are we supposed to do if you have to be empowered? I have to think their thought. I have to think their language. I have to speak their thought. I have to speak their language. So that's how we start empowering ourselves, right? Now, therefore, the song goes like this. যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে. This is the first part of empowering. Yes, I move alone, I groom myself alone. But then there is a second part. वो क्या है? हम चलेंगे साथ साथ हाथों डाल हाथों में हाथ हम चलेंगे साथ साथ एक दिन. This is the second part. कि हम दूसरों को भी साथ मेरे साथ ले चलें. Otherwise it is not going to happen. Now how do we do that? You know, they did not announce. I am also the chairperson of Open Forum for Principal India, which is a registered body by Government of India. And we are also OFP is a member of the International Open Forum for Principals. Toronto is the head office. Okay. Now in OFP, we have international as well as local students exchange program, teachers exchange program. Revati ma'am is the national convener of OFP. Sima ma'am, you have been a convener and you have been taking part both in the local as well as the international exchange. We take our students and teachers to US, to Canada, to Australia, to Europe. What is this cultural exchange? Educational exchange, exchange of philosophies and thoughts. We also do it in the local. Why? Because I said I'm a very traditional person. When I don't know my own traditions, I don't know my own culture, what am I going to exchange with foreigners? And I very strongly believe in a sense of pride. Pride is not egotist. Hindi mein bolo, so pride is garv. Egotist in Hindi is aham. That is bad. Ghamandi hona galat hai, but garvit hona bahut zaruri hai. I wanted to refer Mr. Dandekar was there, I think, in the first panel. He said something which I really loved because I almost came at the end. He says, there is nothing in the schools. The students don't have that, the kind of feeling, the importance. Because I'll tell you, please don't mind this. And I think because we are all heads of schools, we need to take it on us. You know, all English medium school teachers, majority of them don't even know the word alma mater. Don't you think it's horrible? The teachers must know the word alma mater. Alma mater is giving pride to me, to my institution. But that comes from provided I am very proud of my home. But we principals must take care the moment our teachers join us, these basic things should be taught to them. What is pride? Then today's all English is so wrong. People say, myself Tushar Guha. That's wrong English. I am Tushar Guha or my name is Tushar Guha. And there are two types of English, Oxford, the other is American. But in both there are slangs. Should we use slangs in public? We should not. Why? Because I'm a corporate trainer for international corporate ticket around the globe. And at the highest level, there are too many do's and don'ts, whether you like it or not. All the ministers, the prime minister, everybody has to get groomed because there's a way you conduct yourself in public. For the simple reason, we are in the public eye. Now, we principals are also in the public eye. And it is, I think just now in the second panel, it said, Kapoor madam, you did refer, and I would like to call it as a shower principle. You know what is shower principle? When you stand below the shower, your head gets wet first, then the shoulder, then the feet. But when you jump into a pond, your feet gets wet first, and then the head after you take a dip. So our management and principle has to come from top. I have to be the one, what the people are going to emulate me. That's how we should take our whole empowerment together. Let me be empowered, and by example, I need to, not by speeches, not by lectures. We need to do this. While conclaves, seminars and conferences are important, because there's an exchange of ideas, exchange of thoughts. It's a must. And I was very impressed by, I think Mr. Mendonca, his name was, no? I was really wanting to ask him, when I meet him, I'm going to ask him, how old are you? Don't tell him here now. How old are you? Because at such a young age, so much of bright ideas, not only ideas, he could put it across so well. At such an old age, got impressed. Because, not that the other speakers did not speak sense, we all spoke sense. But coming from you, as such a young man, I really felt impressed because I always believe the younger generation, they teach us much more. I learned so many things from my granddaughter who is now 12. I learned so, and in fact, all this you must say, I am not a professionally teacher. I don't teach in any school or any college, but I've always been the guest faculty to management institutes, schools. But I make it a point once a year around the country, go to schools, whether it is this is whatever you call it, Pathshala, what is it? Ashram Shalas, or high profile schools or CBSE, ICSE, whether it is Delhi, South, Assam, or anywhere. I purposely go and move with them because you get the full pulse of the thoughts that's happening to us. I'm not saying, okay, I'm privileged to do. Most of us will not be able to because we are caught up in our day-to-day work. But even there, let me be very honest. Do we have all students coming from only financially very wealthy background? No. There are reservations. So we are also getting people from the other sections. And whereas we need to interact with them, you'll be surprised, I will end with this. I have 100 faculties who teach life skills programs across the globe. Okay? And I have taught them to maintain a diary of bad words. I'm too shocked. You know why? And I myself have a diary of bad words. Because I'm very cultured. I cannot say sorry for the language, sala or bloody. That's the way I've been groomed. But I love the way they give the lies. Because I can't. But I'm an actor on stage. So I know the actions. But I can't utter. But why? What is the educational factor in it, Because we go to slums. Because we go to jhopparpattis. So my teachers should be used to bad words. Because the moment they go and they hear a bad word and they faint, then you cannot teach. You have to look at, I'm sorry for again. NCBC is fine with me. It has to be. Now, most of you must be getting very scandalized. Okay? All of us know bad words. Don't own it up now. If I just now ask you that I'll give you 5 minutes, write 10 bad words, and I'll give you 5 lakhs, I do not know whom to distribute because everybody will stand first. Isn't it true? Why we are good people, gentle? Because we don't utter them. They are Mawalis or Tapuris because they utter them. But that's the background, no? They're used to that. We are not used to it. But in our school also you will get people of those kind. So we groom them up. So there is nothing good or bad. Nothing wrong and right. I always say there's nothing black and white as a psychologist. Everything is grey. So let us look at that and therefore collectively empower. And the last line of the song, हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन. Good song. Thank you so much.